Mustang is 100%. I have been enjoying her in a mature and adult fashion. Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to Shifting Lanes. My name's Chad. This is my dream car, a 2015 Ford Mustang. I've wanted a Mustang ever since I was a little kid, and thanks in no small part to you guys, I own one. This is mine. It still hasn't quite sunk in that this is my car. Sure, I get in it, I drive it around. It's pretty much my daily driver when the weather allows it, but I kind of feel like I have to give it back to Ford at some point, but I don't. I get to keep it. It's mine. So I've owned her for roughly a month now, and well, the purpose of this video is I'm going to go over some of the stuff that was good, some of the stuff that was bad, and what the plans for this car are. Spoiler alert, there ain't no way I'm letting Greg have the most powerful car in the Shifting Lanes fleet. If you haven't seen his new car, it's a supercharged E90X BMW M3. It has about 625-ish horsepower at the crank, and, well, it is by far and away the fastest car we own, and, well, I just can't have that. That will not do. So, yeah, future, make this thing fast. So, I've owned the car, like I said, for about a month, and, well, a couple things, I don't know the best way to put it, but driving this car off the lot about 5 miles down the road, I noticed there were some things that, well, shouldn't be. And chief among which was, and this is a little embarrassing for me because I probably should have caught a couple things right off the bat when I was on the test drive. The Mustang, it should have 255s up front, 275s in the rear. What it actually had was 275s on the right-hand side and 255s on the left-hand side. So that created a condition where the car was pulling really hard to the left under acceleration and then kind of snapping back. I shouldn't say snap, but coming back under deceleration, just lifting off the throttle, so on and so forth. Other things, the heater core, it didn't really work. There was a rattle coming from the engine bay. The rear suspension squeaked. The weather stripping on the driver's door kind of stuck and was letting in some road noise, especially at highway speeds. The wipers were shot. Yeah, to put it another way, I started driving this car, and the drive home was not, in any way, shape, or form, the joyous experience I was kind of planning for, kind of hoping for. I contacted the dealer, specifically my salesperson down at Miller Ford. His name was Sean. And I said, basically, Sean, yo, what's up? This car, cracked windshield, tires on the wrong side, wipers aren't that great, squeak from the back, yada, 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 rattle engine bay, and so on and so forth. And he said, no problem. So I took the car down there and to have them address everything. And, well, they nicely gave me a free loaner, and the free loaner was the Ford EcoSport. And the nicest thing I can say about that car is, the seats are kind of comfortable, but basically that car is one of those tiny little crossovers that are replacing cars like the Fiesta and the Focus, because Ford doesn't make cars anymore apart from the Mustang. And this is their new kind of eco city car, blah, 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 blah. They call it the EcoSport. It does neither. It is neither economical. I think best case scenario, what they rated it at was like 27 combined from a little 4-cylinder engine. And I think the turbo 3-cylinder is an option, but the car has no balls. It takes a year and a day to pass basically anything on the highway. It, again, isn't very economical, and it's one of the uglier cars I've had the misfortune of driving. Now, all of that wouldn't have been so bad, but I'd literally only owned my Mustang for about 2 weeks at this point. So I went down, got my dream car, and immediately had to bring it back to, well, drive an EcoSport. There's a really, really big upshot to this, and that is they fixed everything at zero cost to me. They put the tires on correctly, they replaced the wipers, they did something to the weather stripping. I don't know if they replaced it or reconditioned it, but that doesn't really stick or let in too much wind noise anymore. The rattle from the engine bay, well, that turned out to be a loose injector that they completely took care of, fixed, reseated it, made sure that it wasn't going to pop out again. I thought that was the reason why I was getting such crappy fuel efficiency. It just turns out 5-liter V8, my right foot. It was never going to be, well, let's say economical. But you don't buy a Mustang for fuel savings. But I will say, I don't know how big the fuel tank is back there. I want to say 18-ish gallons if my memory serves. But yeah, it could do with a bigger one. And that's not even me driving like a jackass. That's, I think, maybe 300 miles worth of range if I'm dainty on the pedal. But again, you don't buy a Mustang for that. What else? Oh, the heater core. Turns out the AC switch for the passenger side, because this thing has dual climate control, was stuck in air conditioning. So they fixed that. They basically, I think they replaced a couple components in the unit itself, and it's blowing hot air again, which is fantastic because, well, it's February in New Jersey, and I need to defrost my windshield. I know a lot of people when I bought this car said, you know, why would you buy from a dealership, or, you know, dealers are going to rip you off, blah, blah, blah. Well, in this case, buying from a dealer saved me a ton of time and aggravation. If I had bought private seller, sure, I could have probably negotiated a couple more bucks off the final purchase price of this car, which was just under $25,000, which for the Recaros, the premium package, the performance package, the lot, is still a really, really good deal. But if I had bought private seller, I'd have been screwed. Most of the time, you hope that a private seller is going to do right by you, but if I bought private seller, he could have disappeared, and I would have been up, you know, the proverbial creek without a paddle. One of the things I noticed was the drone in the exhaust. Well, that was one of the things they couldn't fix, mostly because it's aftermarket, and it's the Flowmaster Outlaw Axleback exhaust system. And it is ridiculously loud, always. So when you want to have a good time, it's awesome. When you just want to get to work and kind of not be droned out by the exhaust, it's not so awesome. All you want is a ridiculous noise. Neighbors be damned. That's the exhaust for you. I'd like something that's a little more tame when I'm just kind of cruising, and then, you know, ridiculously loud when I want it to be. Not having that control is a little bit annoying. I know what you're thinking. Chad, you bought a Mustang and you're complaining about the exhaust. Yes, because there are better exhausts on the market, and that's probably one of the first things I'm going to do to this car. Like I mentioned before, Greg has the most powerful, fastest car in the Shifting Lanes fleet, and that is the his supercharged BMW M3. And I just can't live with that. I cannot. It's Greg. The guy is probably the slowest freaking driver in Shifting Lanes, and he has the fastest car. And did I mention, because he sure as hell hasn't, it's an automatic. I mean, sure, dual clutch transmission, but there is no clutch pedal. So he got a cheater trans. I need to outpower him, and by a pretty significant margin, because unlike Greg, I'm not a sissy, and I have a proper manual in my car. So one of the reasons I sought after a performance package equipped Mustang is, sure, it's got the chin spoiler, the nicer wheels, and so on, but it has upgraded cooling up front and 6-piston calipers on the front brakes attached to 15-inch or just shy of 15-inch rotors. Those brakes actually came off of the previous generation GT500, which had well over 600 horsepower. So with that, the suspension upgrades, the upgraded cooling, a lot of the I don't know what the best way to, a lot of the kind of modding has kind of been done for me by Ford. Now, is the suspension perfect? No. Is it something that I'm probably going to end up replacing in the future? More than likely. But as it sits right now, it allows me to focus to the engine bay. And you know we're going to add boost. We're going to add a supercharger. I haven't figured out what kind yet. Maybe turbos, but I think supercharger suits a Mustang much better than turbochargers do. Those wheels are really nice, but we're going to upgrade the wheels because you need wider rubber. I don't know, 305, 325, I think 345s can fit on the rear. In the short term, more power. Supercharger. Greg's car is definitely got to go down. So if you want to see that snooty, automatic, just European mess, well, it's not a mess. It's actually in really good shape. But this is all American muscle, baby. And it's got an independent rear suspension, so it handles as good as it goes. This needs to be faster. And that's pretty much it, guys. I want to take a second and thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Smash that thumbs up button and hit the notification bell so you get all of Shifting Lanes stuff released as we release it. If you want to help out the channel, head on down to our Teespring page right below me here. That's where you can get some awesome Shifting Lane swag. We have some cool Volvo stuff. We have our Hellwinkle stuff. I will be working on getting some Mustang stuff as soon as I have time to kind of put some stuff together. That's pretty cool. That hasn't really been done before. If you have t-shirt ideas, let me know, because after all, you guys are the ones who are going to be buying them, so leave that in the comments down below. If you want to hit up Shifting Lanes on social media, it's at Shifting Lanes. If you want to follow me, I'm at Chenedy83. I'm blown away that people reach out to me and want to talk to me about cars. I'm just an average guy who just happens to sit here in front of a camera. So I really appreciate all you guys for reaching out and talking. The conversations have been awesome. So hit me up there if you want to take the conversation outside of the comments section. As for this one, guys, that's pretty much it. The Mustang is 100%. I have been enjoying her in a mature and adult fashion. She's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to get started doing some of the Mustang culture stuff. Engine talk, Mustangs in general, more power, wiping the smirk off of Greg's freaking face. All of that fun stuff. I cannot wait to get into it. But for this one, guys, that's a wrap. And I'll catch you next time.